Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Wednesday workout. Let's begin today with 3 rounds through, or somewhere around 15 minutes of the warm-up. 12 calories, your choice, row, bike, or ski. And then I want to get a 45-second front plank, right? So make sure shoulders in line with hips, in line with ankles, and we're squeezing the abs. And there's a way I can be relaxed in this position, and a way that I can really get a lot out of it by squeezing my butt and squeezing my abs in opposition to each other, right? And that's that way to really warm up the core. Planks are great, great activity to do before we do a braced loaded lift like a squat or a deadlift, because it just gets your core woken up and it gets you in the mindset of bracing your rib cage relative to your pelvis, right? And that's really what the two main things that can move, and what wiggles around in the middle is your back, okay? So if you can get your core kind of in the mindset, in the nervous system pattern of bracing those two things relative to one another, that's the safest that we can be when we are lifting heavy things on our back, okay? Next is gonna be heel toe rocks. So just back on the toes, or up on the heels and up on the toes. Butt kicks and high knees, so you can go down and back, right? But just swing those feet towards your heels, towards your butt, and then high knees, okay. All right, last one, lateral bench step overs, right? So up and over the bench, and I'm not just getting over it as low as I can, I'm picking that knee up as high as I can, pretend like you're stepping over something that's twice as high as the bench. We're just kind of using the bench as a convenient tool to give me something to go up and over. And then one round of warm-up box squats. And I have the bench set up because it's a good height for me, right? When I sit on the bench, my thighs are at about parallel, or right where my sticking point is, or slightly below where my sticking point is. And that is the goal for the height of the box or the bench or the plates or whatever it is that we use, the bottom position for today. And for your information on our programming this, every other week we're going to be practicing the box squat and working on that specific movement to try to break through plateaus in our squats, and then work on confidence at the sticking point of the squat, right? So today is going to be a lot of reps and not as much weight, right? So if you are looking for percentages, think in the like 50 to 60%. That's a reasonable amount to start at. If it's really easy and you're not feeling tired and like there's no buildup of lactic acid in your muscles as you get to the end of the set, right? Then maybe go up a little bit, right? That'd be fine. Or, and conversely, if you get stuck in the middle, right, that's obviously too much. So I want you to get to 12 reps with a reasonable amount of difficulty, and maybe you feel like you could do a few more, but not many more, all right? Don't do a set of 12 where you feel like I could do 20 or 30 of these, right? All right, so when we do the back squat with the box, normal back squat position on top of my traps, stepping back, I like to spot it where I can see the bench between my knees, and then I initiate with a big reach back. So stick your butt out, weight on the heels as you go down, but don't let your toes come off the ground, pushing the knees apart. I sit on the box and I put my weight on the box. And one of the ways, the cue that I use for this is get your heels off the ground, because it kind of disengages your legs a little bit and makes you put your weight on your butt, right? And then when I drive my heels down, I re-engage everything and stand back tall to extend my legs, all right? One important thing is that even though, yes, I'm unloading my legs, I'm never unloading my core. I'm never relaxing or hunching when I'm on the box. And that's to protect my back, right? I need your spine and your core to remain engaged even while your legs take a little bit of a breather at the bottom, and then they have to re-engage as you drive back up, okay? So that is the way to do that safely and correctly and to get the most out of it. All right, no more than 2 minutes rest in between sets. So this is a little bit of a restricted time interval for our back squats, and that is gonna get your heart rate up. It's gonna make you feel more of that waste product buildup in your muscles, right? And should make it a little bit more difficult, but also we'll get through it a little faster. All right, next we're gonna move into the strength and conditioning circuit. So 3 or 4 rounds, depending on how much time you have. And the first one is a single leg deadlift with a weight, right? So I would like for us to be practicing the balance as well as working on single leg strength as we do this. So this one from the side, I would like for my leg that is moving to move in sync with my shoulders and my torso, right? So there's never a time when my shoulders are moving and that leg's not moving, or where my leg's moving and my shoulders are not moving. So I want you to think about keeping this leg almost entirely straight, so not bent and twisting around like this, but kick back and straight, and then squeezing the leg that's driving as you stand tall. 6 reps on each side. Next, we're gonna go back to the rack for back rack lunges, right? And this one, ideally, somewhere around what you did when we were squatting, right? So this should be significantly more challenging because we're doing the majority of the lift with one leg, the front leg. The back leg assists a little bit, but these should be tough. The reps are not as high as we did in previous weeks, right? So it's only 6 per leg, a little bit more challenge. But feel that out. If that weight is scary, work up to it, right? You don't have to start there, but if you could try to finish there, that'd be great. Next one is a couple of shoulder strength and rehab exercises. So this one, I'm gonna take my hands at wider than shoulder width, and then I'm standing on top of the band with one leg, right? And I'm gonna raise my arms up to the side at a 45-degree angle, and then back down to my waist. Raise at that 45-degree angle, and then back down to my waist. So if this is straight ahead, this is straight to the side, I wanna be halfway between those two. So diagonally, like 45 degrees away from either straight to my sides or straight in front of me. 15 reps like that, and then I'll grab one end of the band and I'm doing a band pull apart. Now I'm going from pointed straight in front of me until the band touches my chest, squeezing my shoulder blades. The elbows remain straight the entire time. The elbows do not bend at all when I do this exercise, all right? And then last one is calf raises on a plate, right? So if you want, you can put this over by something where you can grab onto it and you can hold a heavy dumbbell in your hand if you want to while you're doing it, right? To give it a little bit more challenge, but try to get a really deep stretch of the calves at the bottom and then a full squeeze at the top, okay? And that is our strength and conditioning circuit for today. Do that at whatever pace you feel like doing it. If you wanna hustle through it, get your heart rate up, get a little metabolic intensity into it, that's great. If you would like to slow it down a little bit, go a little heavier on the lunges, go a little heavier on the calf raises, and get more of a strength effect out of it, you will still sweat and you will still get a lot out of it no matter which one you choose to do, all right? And that is it for today. Have a great one. I'll see you guys on Thursday.